Hi guys, welcome back to my amazing podcast. This is my super story. I am here with the beautiful Aisha Sambo, a communication strategist, a writer, a creative director, and an all-time amazing entrepreneur. I think I should get paid for every single time I use the word amazing, but this time it is amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you, Aisha Sambo.
Thank you. Thank you, Aisha. Hi, Anissa. How are you?
Thanks for coming. I'm fine,
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
Great, actually. Nice weather today.
Hey, I know, guys, we're outside. This is Mamba Cafe Restaurant, Maitama. So we're about to have a really nice conversation. We're going to talk about Aisha and her super story.
Yeah.
So let's go straight into it. Aisha, please can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Story for the good. Isn't that always such a, gut-wrenching question to answer? It's like, who are you?
Yeah, what do I do? What am I here?
Yeah.
So you like that's answer.
But I've grown fond of crafting the answer to that question. So, who is Aisha Sambo? Aisha Sambo firstly will identify as a woman. Naturally, a woman is more than one thing. So, and I feel the same way in line with my career. I'm not a one type fits one box. I'm very eclectic. I'm very multi-dimensional, multi-talented. And so for me, I identify my skills and my role as a writer, a creative and film director. I work really in the education, non-profit space, and also the media space.
Also, yeah, I love it. So can you tell us why so many businesses, like why so many ideas, why so many executions?
Right. Okay. It's a good answer, and I'm trying to answer it. I'm trying to give the right advice because not everybody can be this. And what I mean by can be this is really go into different spaces and succeed at it. I have not succeeded at everything as well. Don't get me wrong. I failed so many times. So I think it's the willingness to get back up after every fall is part of my essence. It's who I am. And so because of that, I just barely cannot see myself in one industry. I'm not limited. I refuse to be limited by an industry, by a skill set. And so with that, it really allows me room to continue to learn. Yeah. For me, learning is very important to my process, learning and researching as well. I tend to stick to topics that I'm personally interested in or motivated in to solve a problem. So yeah, hope that answers the question.
That's like a very passionate answer, and this goes to how you are as a person. And with everything you were saying, I'm like, how did that process come about? So what's the what influenced all of this? And now we're really down to childhood now.
Yeah.
So childhood, like,
That's a good question. I think I'll answer this with a story I want to tell about a book. A book I once read. Yes, so this our gist is long. So read this book. Can't even remember the book, but he wrote something called the 10,000 hour rule. Have you ever heard of that?
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, 10,000 hour rule. So it's this rule that says for you to be a pro, an expert, the best of the best at something, you must have had a practice of 10,000 hours for that particular thing. And I disagree.
There's like so much mathematics because I'm like 10,000 hours. That's like what? How many days?
How many years? Girl, and my math is not great as well, but we can do the calculation for you guys here so you can see how long that is.
For the calculator, we need to actually be like 10,000 hours each day, 24 hours. So how's that mathematics supposed to work? That's like how many days? That's 24 times 10,000?
Not sure. Guys, help us out.
Please. Hey, there, mark me. 117 days. Is that coming from your head? Okay.
Okay. So that's about 417 days. That's no sleep, no... Yeah.
And that's how many years?
Girl.
Because I want to know, it's like, you need 10,000 hours to be an expert. So let everybody know how long do you work, how many days of your life
Should you dedicate? Exactly.
Many days? 417 hours.
You can do the calculations and let the viewers know later. But I disagree with that because maybe that rule fits for a time before, you know. Now with technology, I just feel you must be multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, these machines finna be taking over our jobs, and it's not even funny anymore. Especially with creativity, Photoshop be having some AI things that are kicking us off the market for jobs. So it's really a thing of, I believe that works for some people, and that's okay. But for some people, it's just never gonna cut it.
Never.
Yeah, it's never going to cut it because they're just into, you know, different things. And a lot of people might disagree with me because there is value as well in being consistent, right? Consistent at something over a period of time. Let me use Rihanna, for example. Rihanna had a lifespan of over 10 years for her music and then swapped completely to like makeup.
Yeah.
Rihanna would probably have not been able to achieve that level of success if she did both simultaneously. So I think it's just knowing when to stop, start, and then restart again with all the different ideas that you have. Because it's true, consistency does matter. In as much as I do all these different things, I can say that sometimes for me, consistency is a problem.
Yeah. I think everybody can relate to consistency because sometimes I feel like, what is consistency? Because it's so inconsistent to be consistent. Like, it's really like that. So I want to have the picture from what your mind was like as a child, because after, going back to story, after reading this book and you disagreed, then what happened?
Yeah, I think for me, I just wanted to try things. I've always been a curious child. In fact, I cooked up this story in my head about why people in my family called me Shu. So I said to myself that, you know, I think I was so curious. I think I was an annoying child, like the kind of child that would ask, why is this so hot? Why is the sun like this? You know, really child-like questions. And I think children ask the best questions, actually. So I think from those interactions with my cousins, they would always tell me shoo. And I would think it meant literally go away, like you're disturbing me. But later on, I did ask a cousin why she named me Shushi, and she didn't really have an answer to it. I just remember being very playful as a child. I was the kind of sister that would dress up my little sisters, put makeup on them, take pictures. This thing I'm telling you, like 10, 11 years old, I was doing that.
You were using your siblings, human beings.
Oh yes. We're going to play pretend. I'm the president.
Shout out to
You're my... No, shout out to them. Like, in fact, I feel like a lot of those playtimes that we had as children is built up their character to who they are now. There's something about being able to just imagine as a child that later on in life as an adult, it gets hard to just...
If you look at that, as a child you were playing, but in reality you're actually being created.
I was practicing for real life
and
without even
practice, because maybe during that time you were very serious. Like your 10-year-old self is very serious, putting on that lipstick, like pulling back the hair, like it was really some. So coming back to it, like being like a curious child, having all these imaginations, what was it in particular that you always wanted to be? Was it like, I want to do everything, or you had a goal set and then you found yourself just falling like into these different places while still trying to go to your fun?
So two things were consistent in myself, in my being, as you know, that I remember as a child, that is still the same now. It's my need to create. Whether it was a media product or an actual physical product. So art, I used to paint. I was the best student in art. I love art so much. And yeah, it was just the need to create something. I learned how to sew in like JF3. I was so serious about it. I used to go to the market every day during summer because I was just so frustrated. I couldn't get the ideas that were in my head out in life. So I'm like, okay, how do I do that? I have to learn how to sew. And it was from learning how to sew that I realized sewing was not for me. And this is the thing I feel like a lot of young people don't dare. You don't dare to try.
Never.
And if you don't try, how will you know if that thing was never meant for you?
How?
Or how will you know if that thing was meant for you? So I'm an advocate of volunteering. I believe that through volunteering, you can find your true passion. And we're in a country in Nigeria where a lot of us are in job forces based on circumstance and not necessarily passion. It's important to deliberately put yourself in positions where, yes, you might not get paid, or get paid as much as your worth or your desire. But if you don't start inserting yourself in those places, you will never know. And nobody will ever, nothing magical is about to fall on your lap. I'm sorry to
tell you. Nobody has your time.
Exactly.
Nobody has your time.
So you have to be your advocate. You have to be the one to chase that thing you want to try.
Is there an explanation to what that thing is? Because there's that reality of maybe what I'm doing, I don't like it. Maybe what I'm doing will work out. Or worst of all, maybe what I'm doing wouldn't be accepted.
Well, here's the thing. Have you tried to know? That's just that's all I'm trying to really add. Just try.
Yeah.
You're scared of swimming, but have you ever tried? Maybe you can even swim. Some neurons in your brain will magically just make you swim. I don't know if that's real, so please don't try to jump in a pool. But these are just some examples. And I think from a very young age, my family support is a contributing factor to my success. I'll put it as plainly as that, because I believe children between the ages of 1 to 7 is such a delicate age, and you need to sort of keep an eye on them. You need to be their champions. You need to stir them in a direction, because whatever they consume between those ages will most likely form the rest of their adult years.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Nice words, Aisha. Because what I'm getting is as we're growing up, because I'm trying to imagine what influenced that kind of strong thought for a young person. You answered it by saying you had the family support. Maybe your family members, some of them were like, oh, she's joking. Maybe she's only doing it, but we love her. We're going to support it.
In fact, that was it.
That's it.
I'm definitely the joker in my house. Nobody takes me seriously. I'm always the last to know. And this is not now, but this is as a child.
Yeah.
I was always teased on for my dressing or for my ideas or the things I want to do. And so, I think those experiences definitely shaped my character.
What about school? What was school like? Did you go to boarding schools? I'm talking primary school, high school.
Okay, so my first primary school is not far from here. It's now model school. It used to be called Precious Gems.
Wow.
So I'm proper Abuja babe, front and back. We die here. I love Abuja so much. So did primary school in Precious Gems. I remember being in a lot of plays, a lot of singing things, activities. That was just me. I'll do it in English, do it in French, overachiever. That was me. Yeah. And then I went to Grace Garden. And then I went to Elamin here in Abuja. So I was part of the first set of students to graduate from primary school in Abuja. We graduated on sand.
Wow.
This Elamin you're seeing, it did not exist like this. It was literally just sand.
You guys are the OGs.
Yeah. OGs of Elamin. And then I went to boarding school for secondary school. So from my JS1 to SS1. Still went to Elamin in Minna. So Elamin is also very special to my heart because it's a family-owned business. And I just remember, even as a child, I can guarantee you will look through every graduation picture, and I mean, Mina, I'm probably in it. I'm probably in it with Mrs. Mariam, like by her side, just following her, you know. And so we're a very close-knitted family growing up, like with cousins, aunts, and my family is mixed as well. We have Christians in our family. So from a very young age, I think I had an understanding and acceptance of people that were unlike us. Yeah.
Wow. So like your secondary school experience and down to how the family, because still being in school is not really like an outside world because it's still family owned. So in reality, I've always been sheltered in that love to just like, you know, shine yourself. I literally just be like a flower because that's what's happening now. And like when we're blooming, you're like showing all these things. Your dad was like, you ever heard the words, hiding too much?
Of course.
Hiding too much.
Of course, I do. And the answer is I'd never have it any other way. Like I've tried to do the 9 to 5. So I worked in PwC for 2 years as a consultant. I loved it and I hated it. I loved it for the people. I loved it for the sternness. Like, you really have to work hard in PwC. PwC is one of the big fours in the world. And I just remember straight after uni, I really wanted to work for a big media conglomerate because I wanted to hack why do these companies last 60, 100 years? And I cannot think of a Nigerian company that is still in existence at the quality and standard that it was when it started. Or even better. Let's not even say they are the same standard because the goal is for companies to always become better. So I think for me, during uni, I was perplexed by that idea for a long time. And I really wanted to work for a media conglomerate. And that didn't happen. We'll talk more about that. But I think you're trying to get a build-up of my childhood.
Yeah.
School and everything.
Yeah, because we've even passed to that level. So now we're down to
like uni
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dig a bit back to like uni. No, secondary school actually, because you said something.
Yeah.
And it's something that I hear a lot. And I just want to clarify that it's not always like that. You said I must have felt sheltered.
Yeah.
Because it's a school still owned by, a family, so you know that you're safe. Believe it or not, I did not feel the safest. I did not. I did not feel the safest in secondary school. In fact, secondary school has to be like my worst life experience. And this is coming from a privileged child that was in a school owned by her family.
Wow.
And this is not coming from a place of ingratitude. This is coming from a place of real feeling.
Yeah, of course.
I think from a young age, I knew I was sensitive, especially to people's words. And Hausa girls are the meanest. No shade. I'm a Hausa girl too. So, but you know what I mean. When they're in cliques. When they're in cliques, you know those cliques. Yeah.
Girls.
Meanest.
Yeah, girls.
Meanest. So my Hausa wasn't too fluent. And I got teased a lot for that. And I just remember being always sad.
Oh my goodness.
Always sad because people are teasing me. People are still teasing me about the way I dress. It's enough that my family is already teasing me about that. So I had to start telling myself a different story. And I think the power to do that really comes with the power of your mind. Believe it or not, I was suicidal in secondary school. I hated it so much. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there. But alhamdulillah, like I thank God again for the support of family and good friends. Let me just put it that way, good friends, yeah. In fact, my career, my choice of career, everything that I embody that I am would not be possible without my friends and my family.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you more about that.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. So secondary school was tough, and I feel like secondary school is still tough for a lot of young people. You feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulder.
Yeah.
But I'm just here to like remind you that that is just the tip of the iceberg of life.
Because I feel like secondary school is the worst. Because kids and teenagers are usually the worst of the years. In university, working, like when you get older, it's not up to you to know whether you want to be bullied.
Yes.
So then you're old enough to stand up for yourself.
Yes.
Or to talk about, yes, last time being your dad or whatnot. But if you can conquer that in secondary school, because like it was so easy for me to say, oh, you know, you were a family business, you were sheltered. Like you literally could be the person that would choose the principal. No, I don't want this one, start this one, because that's what people would think. No, I don't.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
But for me to even hear the kids were bullying me, that's the.
So hear it as well, right? Now grown with more wisdom.
Yeah.
I've forgiven everyone. Let me put it that way. And why, mashallah, why I say forgiveness is because in their own defense, they might not have even known the burn, you know, how deep those wounds cut.
Mm-hmm.
To them, they may just have been mere jokes. They may just have been banters. They may just have been, it's not that deep.
Guys, I never believe that though. I feel like for you to put in that kind of part, like that's something you're dealing with. And that's why the number one thing can obviously be the jealousy. Like,
exactly.
Actually, somebody that everybody will easily know. Is it really like that? Because that's how it is with mean girls. Like, it's always like that. We watch the movies, we know them, we see them. It's always from jealousy.
Yeah.
And you know, like, me, what do I even have? Like, what am I? Me, I'm even looking at you like you're something, but it's always
girl. And I exactly how you said it was exactly how I used to look at them. Like, oh my God, you're so fluent in Hausa. You dress nice. Like,
oh, you're Hausa? Is the Hausa?
Yeah, so it was the Hausa that used to bust my brain. And they were so fluent with it. So yeah, I think all in all, alhamdulillah for growth.
Do you know what I like about this story? Because I always like all this, like, I always see it as inspiring because you're here. Do you understand? Life would have told you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And now it makes sense why the dedication, determination, the passion for like all these things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like maybe in school, maybe the mean girls, there's definitely no one person. So if there are like 5 of them, this is a small number. Like you're fighting individually. How can't you control 5 businesses? Like,
I know, right?
How can you put out a whole mashallah? Like, yeah, all company for, but like it makes sense now. But like to that person listening, because I promise you, like secondary school wasn't so easy for me as well. Like I've had my very bad days, and that's why people always feel like, oh, this person is like this, and they feel. What people see, they make assumptions, which is very, very true. But sometimes the persona or your personality that you're putting outside to try and just like hide who you are in real life, it usually shows sometimes. Like people now feel like, oh, we can take it out of this person. But what made me conquer that stage was always knowing that, always being ahead of my time. When I was in JS1, my head was in uni. When everybody's in school picking like books, I'm picking university, like college books, and I just could not wait to be in uni. So being that ahead of time is something that must have like sheltered. So what was your own like sort of motivation? Like what were you covering yourself with? Like why did you get into the talks?
God. As plainly put, God. So my cousin said something to me during the times where I remember being suicidal, and she said, Aisha, God has not denied you of a good school, good family, friends, food, shelter. So I just want you to think deeply about the decision that you tried to make today.
So your friend saw you? Or you discussed it?
No. So it was, how did it, I was admitted into the clinic and then my family was informed. At the time, they didn't want to tell my mom. I think she was traveling or work then. So it just felt like something my aunt and my, cousin could handle. I remember Dr. Mrs. Mary Barangida driving literally to the middle of the square in school, and she yelled at me. She said, pack your things, we're leaving. You want to leave my school? You want to kill me too? She said, pack your things, we're leaving this since you can't handle things over here. And I just felt really embarrassed. I apologized and I told her that I would stay. She slammed her boots and drove off. And then my cousin came on later that evening and, she gave me that pep talk. I admired her so much because everything that she is, I see parts of myself in it. She's the first child as well from a very prominent family. So I feel like there's always that obligation to continue the family business, be part of the family business versus doing that thing you've always wanted to do. So she's really taught me finding the balance in doing that. She's taught me the possibilities of, yes, you can focus on one, but you can have it all eventually. Yeah.
So you can say that's the major person that influenced everything with the motivations?
I wouldn't say it was a person. I would say truly it was God. And I think God speaks to us through people and through experiences. So yeah, I would say generally, God has been a very motivational factor in my life. My spirituality with God is second to none. And I don't think anybody can tell me, how to communicate with God. I feel like it's a very personal thing. Religions have different ways that they communicate with God. I'm Muslim, proud to say that I'm Muslim as well, mashallah. So I can only hope, beyond just even being a better Muslim, I feel like everybody's goal in life should just try to be a better human being.
Yeah.
Pinpoints.
That's just it. And then looking at everything now, how you evolved from secondary school, you went through uni, you had your job experience from 9 to 5, and you're like, this is not it. And then you came to the conclusion that, you know what, it's not between one. I can do it all. How do you balance that out? Because I can see one human being. As what you say, your parents say you don't have two heads.
So I think I'm a chronic organizer. I organize my time down to the T. I don't know if you remember, even for this podcast, I was asking you how many hours, 4, 5, I'm very keen with my time. And sometimes I do feel overwhelmed by the number of things that I do. And it now comes to a decision-making process. You have to drop one for the other to flourish. So I told you I worked in PwC right after uni. What I didn't tell you is about my university experience, because I wanted to study software engineering. Can you believe that? Wow. It never happened because once I started seeing C++ and all those things, I'm like, you know what? Thank you very much. Yeah. What did you study, by the way?
I studied law. I'm a lawyer.
Lawyer. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. People tell me that I should have been a lawyer, but I don't think so.
I would take it as a lawyer, as well, honest.
You too? You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I studied software engineering, dropped out, broke my parents' hearts. I'm still very sorry about it. I am. I do feel bad about it. But if I didn't make that decision, I realized that my relationship with work would be between me and computers. And I know I'm a people's person. I already knew that for a long time ago. So I had to decide. And yeah, I made a decision. It was literally my last paper in uni.
Wow.
And I just didn't show up.
That last one.
Hey,
why is it always
the last one? And it was a TED Talk that influenced that decision. Ken Robinson's How Schools Kill Creativity. It's a really good TED Talk. And so after watching that, I said, I just want to do advocacy. I want to volunteer. I want to work because I don't think I've figured out what I want to study in uni. And it's because I haven't spent enough time exploring and, trying different things.
I wish that was actually what it was supposed to be like, because looking at it, especially in Africa and Nigeria, where it's literally, you start your life after After uni.
After uni, yeah.
NYC.
Yeah, then
You did
a hot mess. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I like taking pictures. I just knew little things that I liked doing, and I knew that I wanted to practice them more. Yeah,
what is this? I'm still listening. I'm not.
exactly. My mother even said, "Is it the photography you want to study? I will pay for it." I said, "No, it's not actually. I want to study mass communication." My father, in his words, well, so that you end up in NTA. And I'm just like, how do you know I'm not going to be the one to change NTA? Right. I feel like we go a lot, especially our parents.
Yeah.
And I think I'll never know this until I'm a parent myself.
They always say that.
Yeah. It's like, you are so fixed on this future that you do not know. Forgetting that we are people of Alhamdulillah, we do not know too. And you just need to go with the faith in Allah. That yes, I've chosen this and inshallah it will be okay. So for me, I literally Googled top trending jobs in the next 10 years.
Nice.
Because the point of going to school was to get the job.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what jobs were going to be available in the future. Yes, marketing was one of them. And said, let me see what this marketing thing is about. And I learned from the first mistake I made when I chose software engineering. You know how our parents would just say, oh, you're going to this school and that's it.
That's it. Nobody's asking your opinion.
And we don't read the course content. The course content for medicine in Harvard is very different from Birmingham University. So I literally took my time to read the course content for every marketing degree I wanted to go to in whatever uni. And Bournemouth University stuck out for me because it wasn't part of the business school. It was part of the media school. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'll still be close to all these production people while still doing my course. So I went for marketing communications at Bournemouth University. And I don't regret it at all. Still helping me till date. I still read about marketing, PR, and branding techniques. That is all helping my business now.
It's still a top job.
Yeah, it's still a top, job in demand. So I'm glad that I went for that. I also chose a 4-year course, which meant in my 3rd year, I had to be put on a job placement. So you see, it was very important for me to work. I was so ginger to work in my teenage years, 20 years. And, our parents will say, what are you working for? When I'm working. Please, parents, if you're listening to this, it's not about that. It's about trying to position ourselves better in this changing world.
Sometimes you don't even know why. You're moving with the spirit. Yes, so you don't even know why you don't know why you get excited. You don't know why you're moving. And that's why, parents may not understand because that's how the time always changes. During that time, if you can't say the hit there was to go to school, get a job, and that's how you secure it. Yeah, that's how it comes up.
Yes.
But for here now, it's like,
I feel like parents need to listen to their kids a bit more now because trust me, they're knowing more than you.
Yeah.
They're knowing more than you because unfortunately you haven't created an environment for them to be able to come to you. So where do they go to if they can't come to you? It's going to be the internet.
And the internet
has wild things. You don't want your children to learn every single thing from the internet. So yeah, I feel it's important to be close to your children as you grow. And I'm very blessed that my parents equally gave me time. Yeah, alhamdulillah, that time and that energy and attention. At the end of the day, children just want attention.
the challenges that we able to overcome.
Like as a child,
Before
when I was in uni,
for you.
with family.
Because they support you all the way. Because the way you mentioned
No,
their arts with the course, was it at a point where we're done? It's not that we're done. When did it get?
no. So there's never been a sort of I'm done moment. In fact, I would say they're used to me now.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's maybe a frightening time for my mom, my family members, was when I was on set for a movie. So I shot behind the scenes for a movie called Bad Comment, a Nigerian film. Oh my God, such a liberating experience. So what, right? Oh, sorry, come again. Yes, Jim Ike. I mean, what I learned from that was just Nigerians will ship something that is meant to be produced in 1 month in like 2 weeks. I've never seen it before. It's so admirable, but then it's also the reason why sometimes when we're watching certain Nigerian films, we're just like, did that continuity guide lead at that part was film there? Just little things like that. So in my mind, I'm like, this is admirable, but I definitely know that I have to have the control when I'm going to shoot my film. You know, Tyler Perry vibes.
The attention to detail.
Tyler Perry vibes, correct. Like, I've seen how it's done, and I'm just like, yeah, for me, it's going to be that I have to be the one in control. They were worried because I didn't come home early most nights. We'll shoot till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
In Ariwa house.
In Ariwa house. I couldn't go back to my house. So no, I couldn't. I had to tell like production, like I had to stay on set. Like they had accommodation for people that came from Lagos and stuff like that. So I requested, I said, guys, I need to not be going back home because it's gonna be causing me issues every time. But if I know I'm here for like 2 weeks, then we're good. So my mom really didn't understand it at all. Like, she didn't understand it. She's like, this is not a job for a woman. You know, why do you need to shoot at night? Why can't it be in the daytime? I'm like, Mom, how are we going to shoot a nighttime scene in the day? How do you think movies are made? Like, this is it. And I'm trying to do it right now. So while my mom was worried, I wouldn't say that she was not supportive. I can never say that my mom was not supportive because honestly, she has her fears and I understand them. And let's be honest, the entertainment industry is not the most peaceful or the most clear, you know? I acknowledged that a very long time ago. And I'm just prayerful and hopeful that God will grace me enough to make some changes and, you know, drive the vision that I have for the media industry, especially in Nigeria.
With the support of family and friends, there's no way you can't do.
Inshallah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. I know you didn't go anywhere, but we have a change of scene here, and I'm still with my amazing guest for today, Aisha Sambo. So, Aisha, you're an amazing host. Oh my goodness. Hey, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're not everything great. You are. Oh my God, you guys. I'm shy. No, I'm off. Okay. Coming back. Thank you, Aisha. So, you know, you used the last moments to speak like highly of your mom, and not a lot of people like to give her credits to that. So, who would you say is a major influencer in making you move? And this is not just business, because now we're out of the process of who Aisha is, but now we're in the process of who Aisha wants to be. Right? Who Aisha is trying to become Aisha. Becoming Aisha. Yeah, it was like that. What you said, like, who's that who, not what, like, who's that major influencer?
You know, it as I grow older, that question is harder to answer. Why? Because now my inspirations are not tied to people; they're tied to reason.
Okay.
So, like, the need to solve a problem or something, not necessarily a person. But I would say the women in my family have played such a key role in the person that I am. They're all so different, by the way. Like, so different from religion to even like culture, even our values within the family differ. And I think what I really appreciate and look up to my family is that acceptance, irregardless of those differences. So I really admire that. I think we also don't joke about education in our family. Like, oh my God.
That's very obvious.
Education is very, very important.
Like you guys are in school, like you guys are like want to even.
But the thing is, it goes beyond just like traditional education, like going to the school, sitting in a class. You know, I remember some of my best memories learning are when I travel.
Oh,
Like from a very young age, my mom, we're always traveling to this country, that country. And there's something about leaving your environment that you're used to, just that exposure. I think it's a great source of learning. I think people just travel because these days clout banter have traveled. While you're traveling, learn the language, learn the culture, explore. I think these experiences opened my heart more to wanting to learn. And I couldn't have done that if it wasn't for the women in my family.
oh my God! Shout out to the women in your family. Like this is how you know. I always believe in this thing. Like when you see a strong woman, you know that she has a strong backing. So sometimes it's usually not the direct having employees or staff, but just knowing that something has been created for you to move on, but they also expand the road or make it better for the ones behind.
Yeah.
Because you're also creating ways for like your younger ones. You're like doing that too for people like also the young mentees. Kind of like I can't remember the tea on. No, really, it's really like it because you do something sometimes that you have no reason, and that's why the question who influenced that, because that's when I'm like, who's really influencing yourself?
I love that because I think in Nigeria, in a lot of developing countries, we don't understand the mentor-mentee relationship, And I'm, mashallah, like I'm happy that you said this about me because in as much as it's great to hear this, I'm also looking for who is going to be my mentor. Do you understand?
Me, I'm asking, ladies and gentlemen, please help me enter Aisha Sambo's.
I think I already there. I got you. I got you.
Alhamdulillah, that really mean enough. Oh my God, the world just witnessed something great coming. So I really would love that. Thank you so much, Aisha. But why? Yeah.
Why? Can you ask the question in a sentence?
And I'm like, you mentioned that mentor-mentee relationship is very important. And then you're also like, you also want a mentee. Why?
Why?
Even though I've secured the spot, thank you very much. Before you change your mind and you're like, no.
I think we have different mentors.
Yeah,
different reasons.
100%.
We have mentors that when they talk about relationships, because they have that they've knocked the nail on the wood on that. There are some mentors that we only talk about money with them.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I'm really seeking mentors in all aspects of my life because I just turned a very big age a few days ago.
Are you serious?
Yes, I did.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh my God, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You sing happy
Yes. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Girl. I look 40.
No.
Can I pass for like 20, 30?
Big, and I'm like, what is bigger than 40? Like what?
30.
Oh.
30. And I'm excited for my 30. And I keep telling myself this thing, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even when I don't believe it sometimes. I'll tell you, pop and thing. Sometimes I don't believe it. I feel a lot of other things should have manifested in my life. But if I speak to myself with that attitude and that language, then it now turns to ingratitude. So I have to tell myself I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, even though there are days where I don't feel that way. A continual reminder of telling myself that now makes it true. You see? So I think so I want a mentor because I believe that learning from history is really important. And sometimes it goes beyond just the historical books. You want that real life experience from someone else that like may have been in the vision that I was.
I'd rather talk to a soldier that fought in front of the war than somebody that read about it or watched it. Like
exactly,
the feeling can never be the same.
Exactly. So I think that's why I want a mentor. But my greatest mentor is my mom right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. So aside what you do, what other hobby do you have outside of your regular, like, are there things that you like to do, but it's not like a career thing for you? You just really like.
I like
Yeah.
boxing.
Hey.
In fact, I think I have a habit of picking up things that I want to try in the future and like automatically making it a career pathway.
Everything is business.
So my boxing career, let me call it career. Yes, it started because so I have a very low concentration level, and I think it's because I do 10,000 things at the same time.
It's always active.
Yes. So I had to find a way to like focus more, not necessarily like just focus, you know what I mean? Like when you're reading, just read, be more present in the moment. So, and I read in Muhammad Ali's book that boxing helped him concentrate.
Yeah.
It's also a proven fact that
50% as well.
concentration level. But I just gave it a go, started boxing. I've been boxing for like 7 years now.
I thought you were going to say last week.
Like,
last week. And then,
what? 7 years. I was boxing for 7
come on now.
I started with kickboxing. Now I do like regular boxing. And I think by like my second year, I had like fully decided I was going to be a boxer.
Hey.
I said to my trainer, "Len, this is it.
This is go now.
We're going to try boxing."
We're cute now, they land.
Girl, I completely forgot all those parts. I even forgot the hitting of face part until the day my trainer said it's time to spar. So sparring is when like your trainer actually goes at you with the jabs and then you have to like dodge. But we're sparring and then guy hit me and I'm like, come, I'm not doing it again. This is not for me. It's not for me because I think I like my face too much. Too pretty to just have too many basketballs going on over here.
But the boxing, 7 years.
So yeah, 7 years. I absolutely
How's that
love
career going?
no, not a career anymore. A hobby. We decided it was a hobby. But here's the thing, right? If I never tried out boxing, even as I just want to try to control, to help. I started with one thing and it became something else.
Wow.
My concentration is fine now, but I keep boxing because I actually like it. Keeps me.
Did they help you out?
Yeah, it did. Keeps me active.
And it's like I concentrate, but that boxing, I have anger management issues. Because I would think you're serious, but we're training. They'll always think you're
In
serious.
fact, a lot of the times I felt boxing was really about like strength. It's not. It's a lot of motion. So the strength doesn't even come from your fist. It comes from here. Your hands, and like where you turn, I love boxing, absolutely love it. But I wouldn't do it for a career.
Yeah,
I'd probably do it for like come watch Shushi bar, for a couple of bucks. Yeah, I'd do that.
Even hosting like live shows, that would be mad.
Yeah, like hosting a live females only boxing.
Round one. What they call? I think boxing girls. What they call the girls? The what? Then like that.
I have no idea what
That's me. Round one. Okay, moving on. What's that industry or that company or brand or whatever that you've always wanted to collaborate with? Like, what's your dream job, your dream partner? Should it be a partner, or like we should collaborate on that?
I think a dream partner.
No relationship or
No.
no after.
Oprah Winfrey.
We enter that one like this. We use time. We use more.
I don't think I heard it. I said Oprah Winfrey.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be mad, I know what you mean. I see what you mean. Because I know what she does to me too. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Man.
Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. Companies. I really wanted to work for Warner Brothers, but when they rejected me, not anymore.
No.
But that's good. No, I'm joking. I think rejection is good.
Yeah.
Rejection is good because it strengthens you. It strengthens you in the sense that you'll be ready for the next rejection.
Hey, you're ready for the next. And it depends on your mind now.
Yeah.
Some people will tell you they gave up on life or a lot of things because of a simple no. But that no could be no for now. But people will never wait out.
There's a reason why no is no. There's a reason why your weaknesses are a weakness. Leave them then.
Leave them there.
Leave them there. Focus on your strength, And yeah, so I would still say Warner Brothers, but not particular on Warner Brothers in itself. I would say any of the big six. So in America, 80% of the media companies are run by only 6 companies. Like you got Warner Brothers, who owns like a bunch of other media companies. Then you got Rupert Murdoch, who owns like Fox TV, ABC, CBC. Well, all the Times Magazine as well. No, if you look at the structure of media in America, in fact, all across the world in countries, it's monopolized. They don't allow, there's no room for entry for anybody to just grow. And this is why I love social media, because now anybody can become a creator. Like you right now, your show. Like your show wouldn't have been possible without like a platform like YouTube. You know what I mean? So I think it's great. But beyond, it's great and it's also bad. I talk to my mom a lot about these things because sometimes she doesn't understand where the world is heading to and how fast things are changing. So I just tell her, like, but that's the same we have in marketing. You have to be a surfer. You gotta ride the wave like the surfer. It's about adapting, adapting to your environment, whatever. You have to adapt.
And Nigerians are very good with that one.
I hope for our country to have more media literacy because, like I said, anybody can become a creator, which means everybody's consuming anything. And there's a danger in that, because where do you draw the fine line between truth and what is not true? Or, negative information and positive information.
And all these people that made all these companies don't have 2 heads.
No, they don't.
Or rather, when I always analyze them, I always think, like, I always like to think like them. For you to create something and just keep it within yourself, it's because you created that. So for you get to control it. That's just a tweak. So if you want to do your own thing, create it and set your own rules. Life is really that easy, but it's if you can keep up. Because the real founders are
there. So the question is, what makes a company live beyond its owner?
Okay.
It actually starts the vision.
Exactly.
The vision the founder or the owner of the business has. If I ask you, okay, let's try an exercise, okay? I'm gonna call like 4 companies, Nigerian companies, and you're gonna tell me their slogan or their catchword. They'll be easy ones.
Okay, I hope so.
Glow.
No, that's not everywhere you go. Rule your world.
MTN.
Everywhere you go.
Maggie.
Cute. I don't know from Mama's help. No, that's hunger. What the hell?
Right. You see the point.
Yeah.
Let's go Western brand. Nike.
Good. No. It's not.
Girl, Adisa.
It's
do it.
Do it. Hey.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is easier to answer the global international brands than our local brands, because unfortunately, most owners in developing countries build their companies around themselves.
Yeah.
So when they're gone, their company goes.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't go immediately, the cracks start to show and that company is gone. So, I started my fashion business, Shushi, because after leaving PwC for the 2 years that I had spent there, I said, you know what, I think I've hacked this thing. I've hacked how to sustain a business, and I'd like to be able to, influence or help my mother's business as well. So I started working in Alamin International School part-time. It's gonna be 5 years this year. And it's been an interesting journey there.
Yeah. You're saying it like last week.
Because it feels like last week, to be honest truth. It feels like we haven't even scratched the surface in terms of the changes that we want to happen in, our education sector. So while 5 years may sound like a lot, 5 years is pretty short.
For especially a company with a long term.
Yes. Just remember when we were younger. We couldn't wait to grow up. We are grown up now. We want to be children again. Is that not human nature?
That's human.
Always in a state of ingratitude
All the time. That's true.
And that's why like my faith and conviction in God is what always pulls me back to my center. So yeah.
I like that. I like the way you answered all of this, because you've just also given someone else the OT of like having it. Because I've also realized it as well. When you want your company, especially what you're doing, and you have sell the vision, most people like to associate with that business. And that is why if, for instance, you have a law firm and everybody knows that you are the senior, you are the lawyer, you are the one that makes things move. The moment you die or you close, like, it goes with you.
Yeah.
But when you always sell the vision rather than saying, this company is like this because of me, it's better you sell, this is what we're trying to do. So I'm sure with all the big companies, even the ones coming up, even the old ones in Africa, or even the ones we don't know about, the real hack of getting into, because everybody wants to do a business, everybody wants to be creative. Not all creative ideas are sellable, which is true. Not all ideas can make you that you can make a career out of it. It's really not like that, but it's how you structure the vision now.
Exactly.
And you create a community.
Yeah.
And then you move.
Because visions don't die. They go with their owners. They never do. Especially if you have a community of people that believe in that vision as well. It's easy to lose belief and trust in human beings, because we're not perfect.
Yeah.
But a vision, a dream, that's something that we can all work towards to become perfect.
And that's what will make me the movement.
Yeah.
And that's why 50, 100 years from now, that vision, because up to tomorrow, like whenever you call any brand, any of these big brands, people know them because of what they've been able to do. Their productions, they always keep topping it every single time. They've never had a time that for some reason they'll have any type of problem. And I also realized that because they allowed themselves also evolve with time.
It's so important. Because if you don't, so for example, even something as simple as printing money, right? During the war, World War II or such, I think America, when they were printing their coin, they had to change from brass to copper. Brass was more expensive. Just there are little decisions that we need to make in our lives to prepare ourselves for the future. And there isn't a better time than now.
No. Because like they said, there's never a good time to start anything. You start.
I mean, look at the world we live in now. Truth be told, you may say, no, it's not the right time to do anything. We need to watch the market. Things are so unpredictable. But do you know that the price of the idea that you have like last year would have been cheaper for you to execute
than last year? Yesterday. Is it not dollar that's going up and down like balloon? Like literally, it's like that. Dollar is having press up every day. So you're not even sure about like your future. So that is why like that really needs sense, because for any creative out there, an entrepreneur, like whatever industry, even if you want to be in sports and corporate life, in music, in film, like even religiously, like if you want to just be a professional man like this or a pastor, like you have to sell the vision.
Yes, you do.
And by selling the vision, create a community.
Yes,
people will do it for you. People will like it was just like when I was younger, I was always watching all this or hearing stories about the Nigerian war or the World War or whatever. It was literally a beef between individuals. Even though there was an entire, backing of it to certain about the truth is that a vision was sold to people. If you do this thing, let's fight, but believe. And that was what they did. I want to fight for what we believe in. And that's why a lot of people.
Those are how wars are created. The genocide in Kigali, if the only reason that happened was because the colonizers said this group of people are smarter than these groups of people.
And how can you say I'm done?
And that was it. Over 1 million over approximately 700,000 to 1 million people died within a week in Kigali. May their souls rest in peace.
Amen.
I think these are just lessons that we need to learn as Africans from each other, our neighboring countries, even within our own local communities. Because war in Africa is not like war in America. I hope we all know that.
Because our own end now, there's poverty inside. And there's like, and we have it worse because it's always harder to like come back from that.
Not just poverty, it's even the education, right?
Yeah.
Look at how we still vote in our country. I'm sorry to say.
I think
There's a reason why we are the way we are and where we are. Yeah.
very intentional.
We pray and hope for better, of course, for our country, but I feel like a number of things unprecedented or planned is what led us to where we are now.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just like all the acts of individuals. And no matter how people will keep saying, I always believe in this slogan since from the first time I heard it, like change begins with me. I took that very personal, not also because it was like a campaign statement, but it was like, it really begins with me. Like, if you're going to send what every other person is, like literally the conversation we're having, the advocacy, saying it out there. I didn't even know all the things were happening, but you are like, if you find yourself in like a leadership position and then you have to make the decision of making sure that everybody has to be fine, but everybody, what you're doing actually has to make sense, then you have that role. So for some people, they just always use, I think, what they think is best. And sometimes it's really not.
Yeah.
It's really
Because my right may be different from your right. And what makes us, or what will make us great leaders, is finding the middle ground between your right and my right. Because then, as much as my right is right, there are a group of people behind me who believe that my own is right.
Yes, sir.
And there are also a group of people behind you that believe the same thing.
6 and 9.
Yeah.
6 and 9.
My experience working in LANKE was has been amazing. But after the first year, I felt so. I was feeling bad for myself. Like, why is my only salary coming from my mother? Like, what am I actually doing? I had to do this for another 5.
Especially when that masculine energy is speaking in your head. Why, girl? What are you doing for yourself?
Yes. And my masculine energy is definitely more than my feminine energy. So I always need to reel myself back in to like be more feminine, you know, and all of that. Because I believe these things are a balance.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So after working a year in LANKE, I decided that I was going to start my business, a production company and a fashion accessory brand. I knew I didn't want to do clothes because honestly, I'm not that attached to clothes. You can tell me you want this thing now, I'll remove it and give it to you. I want it to. It's yours. I'm not going to give it to you later. It's just how I am. Like with clothes, I'm not too attached to it. So I knew that clothes was not what I wanted to start with. I wanted to start with something challenging. So I started glasses. I started designing glasses. Thank you. And, you know, we just finished speaking about vision. And what I haven't really explored yet with my brand, and what most people may not even know, is that we are driven heavily by research. Like it took me 2 years of research before I decided to launch my business. And I think a lot of young people don't take these tiny steps to save you from heartaches. There's a reason why all these big companies do research. They don't want to pump in $200 million worth of advertising that won't work.
Yeah, and most
They'll
of them
test that it works
Yeah.
before they actually go out to do it in like a larger scale.
Yeah.
So I have a saying at Shushi, 2 sayings: own it and vision so clear. And I just want to communicate it to your audience, like SuperStory, because I feel like there's a similarity there. So when I say to people own it, I don't literally mean owning a product of Shushi. I'm just trying to say own your story.
Yeah.
Because owning your story is going to be the bravest thing you ever do for yourself.
And that's a hack that a lot of people miss out. A lot of people miss
You
out.
gotta own your story, the good, the bad, everything. Embrace it and tell it how you want to tell it. Because if you don't tell it, someone else may tell it.
Yes, no.
And it may not be in the same way you want
And
it.
a way I was able to hack that for myself, like owning it and then doing everything. Because I'm like, on what?
or own it. Okay, I understand. But how do I own it? For me, in my mind, like what made me like be this kind of person and just move with life is with the following saying after an answer. Literally answer. So anything that you're like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to own my story. Okay, this happened to you. And so this person died. Okay, and so in fact, this thing okay, and so tomorrow you're like, and so that's when you're not like, okay. Because owning it now, somebody can make a very bad decision. Own up to the fact that they've done something bad, but also now live in that thing. Yeah. And become worse and more terrible. Yeah. And then expect every other person to adapt, or you might just be that bad guy because, okay, everybody already says you're a bad guy, so let me just be a bad guy. Yeah. But when you're not in that process of, I want to be better, which is different from saying you want to stay in your own toxicity, that's when you just like, how do you move on? Yeah. And so, you did something bad, and so, yeah. And like, looking at it now, coming back to this question, how have you been able to overcome your obstacles or critics or challenges? Like this, but why, when you came up with saying like, own it with the vision, like how have you been able to overcome?
So believe it or not, a lot of it is me talking to myself. Like when I say own it, I'm not just talking to the world. I'm not just talking to children and the audience that I'm trying to target. I'm actually talking to myself too. The other saying that I have at Shushi is vision so clear. And I literally mean vision as in your eyes. So I designed these blue light protected glasses. They protect your sun from your laptop screens and your phone screens. So beyond just the vision for your eye, I'm actually asking my customers, my audience, what vision do you have for yourself? Yeah. And a lot of the times it starts from how you look, how you're being perceived. Because how you look is how you're going to be addressed. Yeah. The one obstacle that I would say I face that is still a continuous learning process for me is accepting criticism. Really, yeah. I'm not one that used to respond well to criticism. I just feel you're against me or not with me, and it's over.
Is it coming back to being so sensitive?
Yeah, definitely.
Why do you take it personal?
I think my mind. I'm genuinely just naive. Let me put it that way. So how even secondary school, even now, there's like a rule book for dating. Right? It's like when the guy calls you, you don't pick up immediately. You form small. Girl, I didn't know any of these things. Let's see me, please. I'm not joking. I was so oblivious to those, messagings and tricks. I'm a very transparent, straightforward person. And I guess you begin to realize that the world is not as straightforward and can be a very wicked place. It is. So you got to protect yourself. Now I tend to keep a lot of my ideas to myself until I'm ready to like show the world or present it to the world. I've been burnt a lot by friends. I don't say it openly or as often. No, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I don't. Because what's in there? I don't tell you why. Because I understand them too. Yeah. I understand that, you may come across my life in somewhat perfect. Right? And there may be tendencies to take things or be jealous or not want to share opportunities with me because you just feel
Should be better than
I'm good. No, you just feel I'm good. You're like, there's no use shit.
I love that I'm thinking that.
Yeah, and exactly. I love that as well because that just means that our pedestal are not the same now, and it doesn't mean that I see those friends any less. Yeah, they are just as important. Their lives are just as important. We're just on different wavelengths
because we're done with the experience with each other and we're good to go. Yeah, and all these things. Because why I don't even want to talk too much about the challenges as well, is because I feel like your own situation is just timing. Because I may not believe that you take project seriously because it's still the way you want to do. Because if it was about that, you wouldn't have ever been able to even leave the original course you were supposed to study, software engineering. So it's always a matter of when it's ready, it is ready to you. And even if you don't want to respond, you move, you see yourself moving. You just, why am I doing this? You just move. You know why I was like, okay, we're going to have this podcast in the morning. And you know why you woke up, like, you know why you were ready. This Saturday morning, you would have been doing anything. You would have been doing anything. You would have actually been sleeping. Like, you would have been doing all of that. So that's why I clearly know that for you, it's a thing of time. Anything you want to do, when it's ready, it will let you know. And that's just it. So now, while we're trying to wrap up, I'm really enjoying this episode, but of course, time. I want to know that special message. Yeah. Like now, 10-year-old, 12-year-old Aisha, somewhere where you... Hey, let me structure the question better. You're 30 now. 30 years of, hey, you shake your buzz out your face. Oh my So, can you see your younger self and like where you are now, your goals, how you're moving?
Yeah.
What are those values? What are those words that even years from now, when you come back to this episode and you're watching yourself say this, you know it's something you want to remember and still live by. So what's that?
I would just say, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of change. Change is not for us, it's for what? Like, he's the mover and shaker of all time, right? And if the times have changed and you feel they're not in your favor, they go beyond reasons bigger than you. And I think it's just important to delve into yourself with your God, you know, about possible solutions on what you can try to do now if one way sort of doesn't work out. So I would say my message to my younger self is to just continue being fearless. Yeah. You just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? A no? No never killed anyone. Never. So yeah, continue being fearless.
I love that answer. Continue being fearless. Because it's everything, all your successes, all your progress, all your achievements is behind fear.
Absolutely.
Fear is just a door. The moment you open, you walk in.
That's it.
You move. Oh, I love this, Aisha. Thank you so much. I'm trying to think of this final thing that I want you to know, because I already know that you move with your quotes of life, and we've already picked up a lot of inspirational and inspiring words from you. And I would just like to say, what should we watch out for?
Oh, right. What should you watch out for? I mean, right now I'm excited about my new our new eyewear collection launch at Shushi. So we just launched the collection with Teni the Entertainer. I'm really excited. It's a limited edition collection. It's hard to find as well, so they're not like in every store. You can only get it on our website, www.shushiofficial.com, and at 41 Lock, Lagos and Abuja. So those are the only places for now you'll be getting the Shushi X Teni collection.
Have you ever heard of when they say you have doings? You have doing. No, what is that? So the slang for moving doings, like it's like in pidgin English, when you're like, some of us don't get money or we get doing. Yeah. So like the way you're just like, I'm letting it to this person, I'm telling that, I'm like, yeah. That's what I want to. I get doing. Yeah, because doing is more expensive than money.
I love it.
More expensive. So you get doings, Aisha.
I love it.
Looking forward to more doings. And the question I always like to ask my guests, are you proud of yourself, girl?
Girl, I'm so proud of who I'm becoming.
Yay!
I am. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you too. I love your show. I love being here. I love the name. You know, that's the start. What is it? It's like even one.
Yes.
Girl,
the one right here. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity of, the people I meet, because if I was never doing this, maybe something else, but I don't think would have had a gist. And that's just it. Moving forward, meeting people like you, creating your own circle, creating your own network, And that is why for people that are losing people like friends, family, not in literal like dying terms, but just in like life situations, you move. It's painful, yes, sorry. Kind of. And that's just it. And that's the vibe. Thank you so much, Aisha. I'm looking forward to
Thank you.
better relationship, better exploring. I'm sorry, mentor Aisha. Sorry, sorry. I know the mentor should have started. So, ladies and gentlemen, my mentor, Madam Aisha Sambo, aka Sushi. We're definitely so proud of you. And what we usually always say on this episode from our audience is, inshallah, we'll always support you all the way. And it gets better from here. More light. And another tea is a couple of years ago, I think a year or two ago, they were showing you on NTA. Oh my god, yeah, you're on NTA. I know about the glasses. Yeah, the glasses. So you were really like, you had this interview that I was in my room and my mom walked in. I was like, she was sending me a house like, come and see that thing that you like to do. And I never showed any interest in like TV. So perhaps because I'm always saying I want to do that business, that time audio, no actual anything. So when I came into her room and I was seeing you, I thought, if she can do it, and I promised you, this is a manifestation. I promise you. So I always said, I always say at the end so that you be like, because honestly, I didn't know I would ever see from anywhere in the world. But I was like, this like, feels nah.
Now look at you doing. Doing, girl. You got some doing. You're proud of me.
Well done. Thank you so much, guys. This is the end of my SuperStory podcast. Aisha's handle, like everything will be down below. Please share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye, Aisha. Bye-bye.
See you.